much in dealing with all of my anxiety. And I guess if someone told me, a pet can help you with anxiety, I would have been really angry, because if my stress is so serious, how can you say that a pet can solve this? I understand, but you'd be surprised how much he has helped me. But then again, I'm not here to give you my expert advice on mental health. Today we're going to be speaking to Anna Chandy. She has more than 25 years of experience in the domain of mental health, and she is also the chair of the board of trustees of the Live, Love, Laugh Foundation by Deepika Padukone. So I'm just going to wait for her request. Is that how it works? Okay, somebody needs to help me with how do you do this, Ash? How do you accept her request? Okay, no idea. Okay, let me just see this request. So many comments, so I am not able to find a request. Let me just request. Guys, request. Yeah. I was scared that I was not going to be able to get you live, and that would have been a colossal failure.
No, but I was listening, and I think you started very well about the value of having pets. They're very, very therapeutic, especially during this time, because they give us unconditional support and love.
Really. And also tries to see limelight whenever. So, Anna, I also wanted to tell my followers or whoever's tuned in that you have been my counselor. You have been my counselor in tough times, and which is why I feel that it's so important that you are here today. 1 second, I'm just going to. That you are here today to help whoever needs your help in the little time that we have, because mental health is the word that we hear so much, so many in the current scenario. It's very tough for everyone, and I have a few questions so that we can get right to it.
Sure.
So the first that I have for you is, how do you distinguish between the normal everyday stress, that we are used to by now, and a real distress call? That when is the time that one really needs to seek external help to deal with the distress?
Okay. So let me start with telling you that stress is just by itself is not a bad thing. We have what is called good stress, which we call eustress, EUSTRESS. And then we have stress that pulls us down, which makes us anxious, which is called distress. We need a certain amount of stress to function in our day-to-day lives. However, currently what's happening to all of us is we are all going through what we call collective anxiety, collective trauma, and collective grief. And one of the things about anxieties is that anxiety can also be contagious. That I'm anxious, so with this current situation, so I tend to pass it on. And that's why also one of the reasons why it is good, because when I'm anxious and I'm just with my pet, it kind of helps me take a pause and it gives me some comfort.
we are just not dealing with stress, especially with the virus. There are physical and mental conditions that attach itself that stress triggers. We all know by now stress causes a weakened immune system. So it's not just stress, it's also other conditions that come along with it. So please explain this.
So I think the first step is to understand what we are all going through, and let's look at what we are going through. Is we are anxious because we are living in uncertain times. We don't know where the end is for this uncertainty, how long, how much. And predominantly human beings, we like predictability. And therefore we are feeling out of control. And when we feel out of control, our stress primarily plays out mostly in two ways. Some of us become over-functioning and some of us become under-functioning. The over-functioning people, they exhibit their stress. They tend to start becoming over-controlling. They start micromanaging, and they start actually becoming, we others experience them as very bossy. The under-functioning people who are dealing with stress as under-functioning, they're not able to be fully present. They're not able to be fully 100% there. Now we need to understand that we're doing this because we are trying to take charge or take control of something. We are feeling so destabilized. That's the first thing about the uncertainty, which adds to stress, this condition. Along with that, what's happening now is that there is so much grief because so many people have been suffering loss in terms of death of loved ones, death of friendship, death of youngsters losing their dreams, children not being able to have that social interaction of school. So there's a lot of grief. And along with that, now we have an added grief. It's desperate to even breathe. Oxygen cylinders, beds in hospitals. So you can imagine the chaos in our lives and what this chaos is. It's just adding to our burdens, and
I think the voice is, I think connection is